The laboratory hummed with an eerie silence as M. Park stared at her husband's final project. Ja Kim's workstation remained untouched since his unexpected death 3 months ago, a shrine of scientific equipment and half-finished quantum research. Dust had started to settle on the intricate glass containers and complex electronic circuits. Mina, their daughter, burst through the laboratory door. Her face was a mixture of anger and confusion. She carried a legal document in her hand, her fingers gripping the paper so tightly they turned white. "You cannot keep doing this," Mina said, her voice trembling. "Dad's research isn't yours to control." Ian didn't turn immediately. She continued examining a small metal container that seemed to pulse with a soft blue light. Inside, something moved, not quite a liquid, not quite a solid. It looked alive. "This is more than just research," Ian whispered. "This is your father's life work." The container held what appeared to be molecular structures suspended in a quantum field. Jay had been working on a revolutionary method of preserving human consciousness, a technology that could potentially transfer memories and cognitive patterns beyond biological death. Mina stepped closer. "What is that?" she asked, her anger momentarily replaced by curiosity. Ian carefully placed the container on a magnetic stand. "Your father believed he could create a digital imprint of human consciousness. Not just memories, but actual thought patterns and emotional experiences. The technology was unprecedented. Most scientific communities had dismissed Jay's work as impossible, calling it science fiction. But Ian knew her husband was different. He had always been several steps ahead of traditional scientific thinking. "How much is this worth?" Mina asked suspiciously. Her legal background made her see everything as a potential financial transaction. Ian smiled sadly. "Some things aren't about money, Mina. This is about understanding human potential." The laboratory was a testament to Jay's brilliant mind. Walls covered with complex mathematical equations, shelves filled with experimental prototypes, and multiple computer screens displaying intricate quantum simulations. Each element told a story of relentless pursuit of knowledge. Mina's legal document contained a formal request to investigate the ownership of her father's research. She believed her mother was hiding something, possibly preparing to sell the technology to the highest bidder. What Mina didn't know was that the research was far more personal than a mere commercial venture. Jay had been trying to preserve something deeply intimate, a way to potentially continue existing beyond physical death. The blue container continued to pulse, almost like a heartbeat. Its contents seemed to react to the conversations happening around it, shifting and reorganizing in subtle, almost imperceptible ways. "I want a full investigation," Mina declared. "This research cannot just disappear." Ian knew the battle had just begun. Protecting her husband's final work would require more than scientific expertise. It would require understanding, patience, and a willingness to challenge everything humanity thought it knew about consciousness and existence. Outside the laboratory, the world continued its routine. Cars passed, people walked, completely unaware that inside this small room, something extraordinary was about to unfold. A technology that could potentially redefine the boundaries between life and death was sitting quietly, waiting to be understood. Mina's suspicion and Ian's determination created a perfect storm. The quantum container seemed to pulse faster, as if sensing the coming conflict. Whatever secrets it held would soon be revealed, changing everything they thought they knew about human potential. The inheritance was more than just scientific research. It was a legacy that would challenge the very foundations of human understanding. The alien delegation arrived without warning. 3 tall, slender beings with iridescent skin and crystalline eyes materialized in the research center's main conference room. Their translators hummed softly, converting their complex communication into simple human language. Diplomatic representatives from the Galactic Council had heard rumors about Jai Kim's research. His quantum consciousness preservation technology was unlike anything they had encountered in their centuries of interstellar exploration. Mina stood rigid, her legal briefcase clutched tightly. Ian remained calm, her hands resting gently on the quantum container that held her husband's remarkable discovery. The container seemed to vibrate with a subtle energy, almost responding to the alien presence. "We are here to understand the technology," the lead alien representative stated. Its voice sounded like multiple harmonics blending together. "Your human research challenges our understanding of consciousness transfer." The conference room felt charged with tension. Minna saw an opportunity. She believed the aliens might provide a legal pathway to control her father's research. Ian recognized something deeper, a potential for scientific breakthrough that transcended personal conflicts. "This technology is not for sale," Ian said firmly. "It represents my husband's life work." The aliens exchanged glances. Their communication happened through subtle shifts in skin color and minute eye movements. Humans would never comprehend the complexity of their nonverbal language. One alien stepped forward, its movements fluid and precise. "Your species rarely develops quantum consciousness preservation. This is remarkable." Minna sought her chance. "My mother might be hiding important details about the research," she announced, looking directly at the alien representatives. "I want a full investigation." The quantum container pulsed again. Its blue light seemed to grow more intense, as if responding to the growing tension in the room. Ian noticed something strange. The container appeared to be collecting environmental data, recording every conversation and movement. "The technology represents more than a scientific achievement," the lead alien said. "It represents a potential bridge between biological and digital existence." Suddenly, the container projected a holographic image. It was a fragmented representation of Jai Kim, not fully alive, not completely digital, but something in between. The projection looked around the room, seeming confused and curious. Mina stepped back, shocked. Ian remained calm, having seen similar projections during her husband's initial experiments. The alien representatives were fascinated. Their initial diplomatic mission had transformed into a potential technological exchange. Humanity had discovered something extraordinary, a method of preserving consciousness that could revolutionize understanding of life and death. "We request detailed documentation," one alien stated. Its translator converted the complex request into simple terms. Mina saw an opportunity for financial gain. "Documentation requires compensation," she said quickly. Ian gave her a disapproving look. The quantum container continued to pulse, recording everything. It was more than a scientific instrument. It was becoming a living archive of human potential. Outside the conference room, the world continued its routine. People walked streets, drove cars, completely unaware that a potentially world-changing technology was being discussed by humans and aliens. The diplomatic meeting was just the beginning. Ja Kim's research had opened a door to understanding consciousness in ways never before imagined. The quantum container held not just scientific data, but a promise of something more, a potential future where human consciousness could transcend its biological limitations. Mina saw a legal battle. Un saw a scientific legacy. The aliens saw a technological marvel. And the quantum container continued to pulse, holding secrets that could change everything. The celestial dispute had begun, and no one knew exactly where it would lead. The research center transformed overnight. Alien scientists worked alongside human experts, their equipment creating a strange symphony of technological complexity. The quantum container sat at the center of everything, its soft blue light pulsing with an almost rhythmic pattern. Yun watched carefully as complex scanners analyzed her husband's invention. The technology was unlike anything previously documented. It wasn't just a preservation method, it was a complete consciousness mapping system. "The molecular structure is extraordinary," one alien scientist commented. Its translator converted the statement into clear English. "Your husband discovered something beyond traditional scientific understanding." Mina observed from the side, her legal perspective slowly shifting. What she once saw as a potential financial opportunity now seemed like something much larger. The research could change how humanity understood existence itself. The quantum container began projecting fragmented memories. Glimpses of Jai Kim's life appeared, his first scientific breakthrough, his wedding day, moments with his daughter and wife. These weren't just recordings. They were living memories, somehow preserved at a molecular level. An alien researcher touched a special scanning device to the container. Suddenly, the room filled with complex mathematical equations that danced in the air like living holographic displays. The equations represented something more than simple calculations. They were a language of consciousness. Your husband didn't just preserve memories, the lead alien scientist explained. He discovered a method of translating human experience into a universal information system. Minna watched in disbelief as her father's partial consciousness began to interact with the alien technology. It could answer questions, provide scientific insights, and even demonstrate emotional responses. The quantum container was more than a scientific instrument. It was becoming a bridge between human consciousness and technological understanding. Each scan revealed new layers of complexity that challenged everything scientists thought they knew about human potential. Eon noticed something remarkable. The container was actively learning, adapting to each new interaction. It wasn't just storing information, it was processing and expanding its understanding in real time. This technology could revolutionize space exploration, one human scientist said. Imagine sending human consciousness across vast distances without physical limitations. The alien representatives became increasingly excited. What started as a diplomatic investigation was transforming into a potential technological exchange that could change multiple civilizations. Minna's perspective continued to shift. She saw her father not just as a distant scientific figure, but as a potential pioneer of a new understanding of human consciousness. The legal battles seemed insignificant compared to the potential discoveries. The quantum container continued its silent work. It collected data, processed memories, and slowly reconstructed complex patterns of human experience. Each moment revealed another layer of its incredible potential. Outside the research center, the world continued its routine. People walked streets, drove cars, completely unaware that inside this room, humanity was redefining the boundaries of existence. We are witnessing something unprecedented, the lead alien scientist announced. Its translator conveyed a sense of genuine wonder. Your husband discovered a method of preserving consciousness that transcends biological limitations. Eon felt a mixture of pride and sadness. Jai had always been ahead of his time, and now his research was proving just how extraordinary his vision had been. The technological revelations were just beginning. Each scan, each interaction with the quantum container revealed new possibilities. Humanity was standing at the edge of a massive scientific breakthrough, a moment that could change everything about how living beings understood themselves. The room hummed with potential. The quantum container continued to pulse, holding secrets that could reshape scientific understanding forever. Minna, Yun, and the alien researchers watched in collective wonder, knowing they were witnessing something truly extraordinary. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with tension. Representatives from 17 different star systems gathered to discuss the implications of Jai Kim's quantum consciousness technology. Holographic displays flickered with complex data streams, showing the potential impact of human scientific discovery. Elam stood at the center of the massive circular room, the quantum container carefully secured in a specialized protective field. Minna stood nearby, her legal background now transformed into a diplomatic role she never expected. This technology challenges everything we know about consciousness, announced the Centauri representative. Its crystalline form shifted colors as it spoke, indicating deep emotional complexity. The quantum container responded silently, projecting small fragments of Jai Kim's memories. Glimpses of scientific breakthroughs, family moments, and complex research calculations danced around the room like living holograms. Alien scientists ran continuous scans. They discovered that the container wasn't just preserving memories. It was actively learning and adapting. Each interaction created new neural pathways, expanding its understanding of consciousness beyond biological limitations. Mina realized this was more than a family dispute. Her father's research could potentially create a universal method of preserving intelligent life across different species and civilizations. Imagine sending explorers across galaxies, one human scientist explained. Their consciousness could survive journeys lasting thousands of years, experiencing everything without physical decay. The Galactic Council representatives became increasingly excited. Humanity, often seen as a young and primitive species, had suddenly revealed a technological breakthrough that could change interstellar exploration forever. Elon watched carefully. She understood the delicate balance between scientific discovery and potential misuse. The technology could heal or destroy, depending on how different civilizations might interpret its potential. The quantum container continued its silent work. It collected data from alien scanning devices, processing information at speeds impossible for biological systems. Small holographic projections showed complex mathematical equations that seemed to breathe and move like living entities. Political tensions began to rise. Some galactic representatives saw the technology as a potential weapon. Others viewed it as a revolutionary method of preserving intelligent life. The room crackled with competing perspectives and potential conflicts. "We demand full access to research documentation," demanded the Orion sector representative. Its translator conveyed a mixture of threat and scientific curiosity. Mina stepped forward. "This is my father's legacy," she declared. "It cannot be simply handed over without careful consideration." The quantum container pulsed brightly, almost as if responding to her statement. Fragments of J. Kim's consciousness seemed to flicker in and out of existence, watching the unfolding diplomatic drama. Elon recognized the growing complexity. What started as a personal family conflict had transformed into a potential galactic diplomatic incident. Her husband's research was becoming a bridge between different civilizations, challenging existing understanding of consciousness and technological potential. Outside the council chamber, stars continued their silent dance. Entire galaxies remained unaware of the potential revolution happening in this single moment of human scientific discovery. The alien representatives began detailed negotiations. They discussed potential sharing agreements, technological exchanges, and the ethical implications of consciousness preservation. Each word was carefully measured, understanding the massive potential of the discovery. Mina discovered a new sense of purpose. No longer just a lawyer seeking financial gain, she now saw herself as a guardian of her father's extraordinary scientific legacy. The quantum container continued to pulse, holding secrets that could reshape understanding of life, death, and existence across multiple civilizations. Its soft blue light seemed to whisper promises of extraordinary potential. "Humanity has discovered something remarkable," the lead Galactic Council representative announced. "A technology that could change everything we understand about intelligent life." As diplomatic discussions continued, one thing became clear. J. Kim's research was more than a scientific breakthrough. It was a potential key to understanding consciousness itself, a discovery that could transform how intelligent beings perceive their own existence. The galactic implications were just beginning to unfold. The quantum container trembled, its blue light growing increasingly intense. Suddenly, a holographic projection began to take shape, not just fragments, but a near-complete representation of Jai Kim materialized in the center of the research facility. Yun stood frozen. Mina gasped. The partially reconstructed consciousness of Ja looked around, confused but aware. His image flickered between solid and transparent, a living memory trying to understand its own existence. "I remember something important," Jay's consciousness said, his voice a mixture of digital signals and human emotion. "The research, it was never just about preservation." Alien scientists rushed forward, their scanning devices capturing every minute detail of the unprecedented event. A human being, or rather, a consciousness, was being reconstructed before their eyes. Mina stepped closer. Years of anger and separation melted away as she recognized her father's familiar mannerisms. The quantum container had captured not just memories, but the essence of Jay's personality. I discovered a way to bridge consciousness across different states of existence, Jay explained. His holographic form moved carefully, learning to interact with the physical environment. It's not about defeating death. It's about understanding life's continuous journey. The Galactic Council representatives watched in stunned silence. What was happening transcended scientific observation. It was a moment of profound philosophical revelation. Ian noticed something remarkable. The reconstructed consciousness was actively learning, adapting to the current environment. It wasn't a static recording, but a dynamic, evolving entity. I never meant to create conflict, Jay's consciousness told Mina and Ian. I wanted to show that human potential extends beyond physical limitations. The quantum container continued its work, stabilizing the holographic projection. Fragments of Jay's memories played out, his scientific struggles, family moments, moments of joy and challenge. Each memory was a living testimony to human complexity. Alien scientists began documenting everything. This was more than a technological breakthrough. It was a fundamental reimagining of consciousness itself. Mina finally understood her father's true motivation. The research wasn't about financial gain or scientific pride. It was about connecting human experiences across time and space. The technology can preserve not just memories, Jay explained, but the fundamental essence of intelligent experience. It's a bridge between biological existence and something more. The room filled with a strange energy. The reconstructed consciousness moved between holographic states, demonstrating an ability to process and interact that defied previous scientific understanding. Ian reached out, her hand passing through the holographic projection. Yet there was a moment of connection, an emotional resonance that transcended physical touch. "I'm sorry for the conflicts," Mina whispered, tears forming in her eyes. The reconstruction of her father represented more than a scientific achievement. It was a chance at reconciliation. The quantum container pulsed with a soft, rhythmic light. It had become more than a technological instrument. It was a living archive of human potential. Alien representatives began discussing the philosophical implications. How would different civilizations interpret this breakthrough? What did it mean for understanding consciousness? Jay's reconstructed consciousness smiled, a perfect blend of digital precision and human emotion. "Science is not about conquering death," he said. "It's about understanding the continuous journey of existence." A holographic projection began to stabilize. Fragments of memories, scientific equations, and emotional experiences danced around the room. It was a living testament to the human complexity. Outside, the world continued its routine. But inside this research facility, something extraordinary was happening. The boundaries between life and death, between biological and digital existence, were being rewritten. Mina and Ian stood together, watching the remarkable projection of Jia Kim. Their previous conflicts seemed insignificant compared to the profound discovery unfolding before them. The resurrection was complete. Reconciliation had begun, and humanity stood on the edge of a new understanding of consciousness itself.